Hey Scorpio, thanks for tuning in to your July 2021 tarot and oracle card reading. So this is going to be a month for you to prioritize what is most important to you in your life. And I feel like that's going to be it's going to be quite a challenge actually, because I feel like you might find yourself being pulled in many different directions. And I think that part of it is going to be a test for you to hold on to what is most important for you in your life. And I feel like right now for you, Scorpio, it's about building your life, building your career, building your prosperity, your abundance. And it's going to be about not getting distracted from what other people want from you. And I think that you may even come off a bit selfish or like you're only thinking of yourself, which is what I'm picking up on from the Five of Swords, that other people really want your attention and they want you to make them a priority. They want you to set yourself to the side so you can give them your energy. And I think that you're looking at your life and you're kind of reevaluating it by seeing how, well, okay, I've done that before. I've done that in the past. Like I've always set myself to the side for these people, or that's all I've ever done in my life is to set myself to the side for others. And it never really got me anywhere, like other people have always been moving on in their life. They move forward and they get my help and my assistance or my support by me self-sacrificing, and I end up behind. And I think that you're in a space where you're kind of looking at it and saying, I don't think that I want to expend that energy on anyone right now. I think that I want to just kind of give to myself. And of course, that's going to possibly create disappointment in other people just because they're so used to Scorpio giving in to their requests. But I'm seeing that you want to build something for yourself. And I think that this is like the crossroads for you, because it's like we're always presented with the same situation, and it's always about coming to this crossroads and saying, okay, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it differently this time? Because it's like, okay, I always go this way. I always take the path that's on the left. And every time I do that, I always end up in this place. And I end up having to come back to the crossroads over and over and over again. But if I take the right path, the one on the right, it comes with probably my greatest fears is maybe it's disappointing people, or it's speaking up and communicating what we really want, even though other people don't agree with those choices. So I feel like this month of July, you might be challenged to put yourself first. And it comes for your benefit, but it might be difficult for you to do just because it may require you to step outside of your comfort zone of trying to please people or trying to, or maybe not even explaining yourself. You're just kind of like, no. I don't even know if I want to do that at all. Like any of those choices, like maybe people are coming with, hey, do you want to do this or this or this? And you're just kind of like, I don't want to do any of those. I just want to focus on myself. I do feel like there's something in the home. So something with family, something with friends, something where I can see you're kind of making like a statement. You're putting your foot down. You are telling the world, like, look at, this is what I'm willing to tolerate, and this is what I'm no longer willing to tolerate. I feel like in the month of July, Scorpio, you're going to stay connected with what you truly want for yourself. So being individualistic in your opinions and not giving into what other people want for you. And I see you standing your ground. I see you not giving in to maybe the guilt trips, or not giving into, you can kind of see through people. You can see through their manipulations. So I think that you're going to take a powerful stance this month. And I can also see you're weighing your options. You're thinking things through on how to strategize, on how to go about handling maybe some of the more complicated dynamics with other people in your life this month. So you ensure that you can because I feel like this 10 of Wands in your past position, I feel like this is you and what you've always done. And I feel like you have worked really hard, or you are working really hard to create something for yourself so you can buy your freedom. I think now that I say the word freedom, I remember this morning when I was getting ready for my day, I was thinking to myself, okay, today I have to do Scorpio's reading. And the first word that came into my mind was the word freedom. And I think that you're tired of being tied to all these obligations with very little return for you. And you're tired of it. You're done with it. So you have made that choice that I'm going to put myself first for once. And now in your future events, you have the Magician card. And I love that, because this is the first stop in the Fool's journey is the Magician. This is the having your options. This is choosing, where do I want to go from here, coming from a clean slate. I feel like this 8 of Pentacles is you cleaning the slate, and also the Ace of Swords as well. And I feel like there's this strong energy towards building a foundation for yourself, because we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. You have done the work of clearing things away. I don't see there's a lot of clearing for you to do this month. I feel like you've done that. I feel like you've been doing that this past year and this past first half of this year. I'm not seeing so much of clearing. I'm seeing more of putting into action of what you have learned now, and also allowing yourself the freedom to explore, to give time to yourself, to allow yourself to enjoy your life. But it's kind of funny because it comes with this, I have to disappoint people so I can be happy. But that's difficult for you because you do want to take care of people. I think that for Scorpio, when we really love, we're loyal, right? Like we're a loyal sign. So it's like when we are in, we're all in. It's all or nothing with us. So I think that's going to be a brave step for you, and it's going to reaffirm your priorities in your life of what are your priorities now? Knowing what you know, what do you choose to prioritize this time around? So you're kind of you're a bit of a crossroads in terms of establishing your priorities. It's like you know which way you need to go. It's just a matter of doing it. And I feel like in the month of July, you might be tested a little bit there. And in your present emotions is it 4 of Pentacles. And I feel like a lot of you have a lot of plans in place. A lot of you have those ideas. You have a plan and you're playing your cards close to your chest. I'm going to start pulling clarifying cards for these. Yeah, you're holding on. You're keeping some things a secret, or you're being extremely selective with who you share your dreams, your goals, your plans with. You're also not allowing yourself to be swayed too much, even by the people that you trust. You're making sure that you can make your own decisions for yourself. Okay, I'm going to go back to the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Swords and put clarifying cards here. Oops. Oh, I love that. 4 of Earth, which is basically the same card as 4 of Pentacles here. Yeah, so this is exactly what I said. It's playing your cards close to your chest and using your own mind. Using your own mind to make choices and not allowing people to sway you too much. You're being very discerning. There's a lot of discernment here and being very careful and selective. Because I am seeing that you're being challenged. You're going to be challenged to do that in July. You may be challenged to put into action what you have learned. I am hearing travel. Some of you might need to travel. Some of you might just need some space from people. I think that there's a call for rejuvenation here. You might need some space from things, a break from things. Maybe things are just becoming way too overwhelming, or they've been overwhelming and you've kind of hit your peak of how much you're able to handle. Like it's just become, the energy, your field has just become too overwhelming. And you've done a lot of reflecting here. With the 6 of Water and the 10 of Wands, I feel like you've put a heavy burden down from your past. 6 of Water is reminiscing on days gone by, thinking back on childhood memories, maybe sweet childhood memories, but because that's clarifying with the 10 of Wands, I kind of feel like you're putting old things, old patterns, burdens, memories, even relationships. I'm also seeing that you're also making peace with maybe some things that didn't work out for you in your career sphere or in your educational sphere. And that's interesting because I usually don't pick that up on the 10 of Wands, but that came through. That there may have been some setbacks or delays when it came to how your career has progressed up until now. That there have been some disappointments there. And maybe that you've spent a lot of time feeling regret or feeling like, oh, I should have done it like this. Why didn't I do it like that? But I kind of feel like you're done doing that. I feel like you're done with the lamenting about it, kind of ready to put it down, ready to say goodbye to that, and not blaming yourself anymore for things that, I mean, you did your best. with what you knew at that time. You did your best. If you knew another way of doing it, you probably would have done it, but that was your best in that moment. And so I think that you realize that in order for you to move on, that maybe that it's kind of like I just need to let that go so I can move forward, because as long as I keep holding on to this, especially something that's happened a while ago or a long time ago, I'm always going to have that lingering over my head, and I won't be able to move forward in my life in the way that I want to move forward. Because with the Magician card here, you want that space to be clear. You want to have clear sight. And I do feel like you have clear sight because you have that Ace of Swords that came up in your present position. So I think that will be, you're gonna have a lot more clarity with where you need to go and what you need to do and what space you need to be in order for you to manifest what you want to manifest. You're a lot more clear about what you want. And I think in the month of July, in order for you to bring that about, you might need to rejuvenate in terms of emotional and mental burdens. Because I'm feeling and sensing that there's some heaviness that just needs to be cleansed out, cleared. And so maybe like traveling or going somewhere or just rejuvenating and recalibrating will be important this month, and not getting too distracted by others. Okay, with the Eight of Pentacles, I'm hearing proving yourself. Yeah, Page of Earth. Yeah, so there is this willingness to explore your gifts. A willingness to learn new things and put in the work towards them. I see you being very, very focused this month on that, on what you want to create. Excuse me, I just need to cough for a second. Okay. Wow, my goodness. Beautiful. I love the Fortune's Wheel is clarifying the Magician there. Because things are starting to shift. They're starting to turn. I feel like there was some residual clearing that you needed to do, and that might have been slowing down whatever it is that you were trying to manifest. There might have been some lingering toxic people or beliefs that you needed to kind of confront and take a look at. But I feel like now in the month of July, you may start to see that the dynamics are starting to shift and change for you. I'm seeing a heart opening and a better connection with yourself. I think that's going to be very important for you as well. I feel like that's going to be one of your main priorities this month, is a connection with yourself. Five of Swords again. And I think that this has a lot to do with trusting yourself. And I think that trusting yourself okay, I'm hearing that if you are able to trust yourself without second guessing it, or even having to ask anyone else about what they think. I mean, not that you shouldn't ask people for what they think, but just as like I don't know, just take it with a grain of salt, but it's just something I'm hearing, that if you can kind of be stable in your perception, trust your perception of what you believe about things, or what you see, or what you perceive, that there will be a peace that comes with that. Because I feel like part of some of the distractions that may be presented to you this month is this inability to, not an inability, I'm sorry, those are bad wordings. Let me see here. There will be situations where you may find that people are putting out this vibe where you should second guess yourself. And I think that second guessing yourself may make you feel disempowered. And so trusting yourself, and maybe looking at something from a more observant perspective, a bird's eye view, will help to preserve your inner peace, your inner sanctuary. Okay. Four of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Another clarifying card for this one, please. Okay. I'm seriously picking up the same exact message as this one, as the Five of Air. So I feel like you may, okay. So what I'm hearing with these cards, the Three of Water, the Hanged Man, the Seven of Air, and the Four of Pentacles, is this may be a time where Spirit is asking you to maybe come out a little bit out of that hibernation mode or that secretiveness. Just a little bit, maybe not too much, but just a little bit. I think that it's starting to, the time is starting to come where you are kind of ready to be a little bit more transparent with who you really are. Because I think that at the end of the day, that's actually what you're really wanting to do. And you're kind of waiting to the right moment or the right time to come out and say, hey, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. And, and this is what I love. And I think that maybe some part of you is afraid that you'll be disempowered by other people's responses. And I think that goes back to, again, trusting yourself, that you know yourself best. And it's kind of like taking a bit of that risk, letting go of some of that, like those walls that are around you. But I also want to encourage that, like, do it within do it within your boundaries of what you're comfortable with. Like, don't overextend in that department where you're not comfortable, but being a little bit more transparent than what you've been, like maybe not entirely, but just like proving to yourself that you can just validate your own experiences or what you're doing, and not needing this other people's voices to influence you too much. letting go of other people's thoughts and opinions. You might find also another interpretation of these cards could be that you may find yourself where you're in situations where you're around a lot of people, and you may find that you need to let go of what they think of you or how they perceive you or how they see you. Yeah, that I feel like that might also be really important for some of you as well, like letting go of their thoughts and holding on to your dreams, your goals, your desires, your abundance, your talents, your skills. Because I think sometimes there is this vibe of if we kind of keep things secret too much for some of us, I feel like it is good to keep some things a secret, especially if you have toxic people around you and they always tend to bring they're like a wet blanket. I think that's really important to protect those ideas and your dreams and your goals. And you are not required to share that with anyone that you don't want to share it with. But there's also a part of you that I think that if you isolate yourself too much, that it will kind of do the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish, which is being more transparent and letting people see you for who you are. So it's kind of like reassessing how much can I just own my own stuff and not really be influenced too much by what other people think of me. So there may be a situation this month where that will be a challenge for you to be able to see like where you're at with that. Okay, let's do the clarifying for Page of Cups. I do see that I'm sorry, I can't speak today. There might be some better emotional connections too that are starting to come in. I am seeing that some of you really cleared something out, or you're in the process of clearing some things out, maybe saying goodbye to some people or kind of shifting your energy. And I think that that's making room for better things to come in, things that are more in resonance. To clarify the Page of Cups. So beginning of new relationships, friendships, connections with people. Yeah, because the Six of Air is, walking away from kind of like cutting your losses. I always see that card as like cutting your losses and moving on to new horizons where you're not, you're like something has just stopped resonating with you or something just doesn't fit for you anymore. And there is a little bit of grief sometimes. It's like a bittersweet departing with the Six of Air. But I love that the Page of Cups, it's clarifying the Page of Cups because it could be, okay, so here's a couple of things that I'm hearing. One of the things that I'm hearing is that for some of you, this walking away from something that's the chapter's over, it could be inviting in new connections with other people. There could also be saying that you could have also cut off a relationship or a connection with someone who has that Page of Cups energy. And I feel like sometimes Page of Cups can have this emotional immaturity to it. Pages are usually indicated with this, they're usually associated with childlike energy. They're new, they are naive, innocent, they explore. And I feel like with the Page of Cups here, I think that maybe it could have been walking away from someone who's emotionally immature, someone who just doesn't resonate, who can't go emotionally deep in the way that you can, Scorpio, because Scorpios are very deep. So I think that you're kind of in search for something more nourishing and something that fills you on a soul level more. Yeah, I'm seeing that you want to feel fulfilled, because there might have been just this emptiness with certain connections that you had. And if anything, it was just draining. And it could have been something that may have ended a long time ago. And you're just ready to kind of cut that loose. They're also bringing me to this, that, I don't know, is it called an adage? I'm not sure. But it's like, your boat is sinking, and it's kind of like cutting out the dead weight. And that feels like not a very nice way of describing people, but it could just be, just people that are kind of bringing you down. Like they're not contributing anything to having them on board. So kind of needing to let them go. Yeah. Fool card. So this is looking out and seeing, well, okay, so I have a clean slate now. And what is it? What kind of relationships or connections? What do I want my life to look like now? So kind of starting at zero, which is a good thing, because there is no, it's just a blank slate. You can create whatever it is that you want. And I like that. And then you have the Magician here, which is that first stop in that fool's journey. So you're embarking. There is this embarkation in a new world or a new chapter in your life when it comes to relationships. I'm feeling that strongly, specifically to relationships, that the people who come into your life, and maybe for some of them, it's not people who stay long. It could be people who just come in and out. But the quality of the people that come in and out of your life will serve you in a nourishing way rather in a draining way. Because I feel like for the most part, up until now, could have been very draining. And now you're in a place where you only want people who nourish you. And vice versa. Some of you may be stepping into a role that is of like a service industry. So it could be that you're like wanting to make a difference. Some of you could be embarking on something entrepreneurial. So, an independent business, or just kind of starting your own thing, doing your own thing. I'm not seeing you're going into business with anybody or a partnership. I'm seeing more of like sharing, like helping people or sharing your wisdom, or I'm seeing individuals like working in hospice. So like helping maybe the older elderly population, caring for them, taking care of them, wanting to be generous with your time, wanting to be of service for other people. And I feel like some of you might have made some radical changes in that department. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have some loud neighbors sometimes, and they have kids, and they just, get a little loud. So I apologize if you can hear them. But I think that in terms of, I feel like this is in terms of work or what you're wanting to put out there in the world. And I think that some of you could have been in a industry or in a workplace that didn't quite match up to what you wanted it to. So I feel like there were some major changes that came with that you kind of completely revamped. Some of you kind of completely changed courses and chose to do something completely different. And I feel like this spread of cards with the Six of Pentacles, Two of Fire, Empress, and the Tower, I feel like it's a good move. I am seeing that you made the right choice. because I'm seeing a lot of abundance with this new path. There's a lot of money in it for you. But there's also, it'll also be something that fills you and it makes you happy and it brings you joy. And because of that, it allows you to be naturally generous with your heart, with your time, and maybe even with your finances, because you may have more than enough. So I'm seeing you step into more of a leadership role here. And I love that you have the Empress as well, because Empress is all about abundance. And I'm also seeing with the Empress card that for some of you, you might be actually reversing some generational patterns that may have occurred in your family over time in terms of money and abundance. So maybe like you have had, maybe you grew up with like this lack, like a lack mentality, like it's never enough, we never have enough money, that kind of thing. And you've kind of reversed that. I just picked that up when I touched the Empress. So that may be resonant with just a few of you, but there may have been like this change in mindset. This change in, I'm going to choose to believe that I am abundant, that I'm not going to choose to continue on that pattern of feeling like, there's never enough for me or things don't work out for me. So changing that perspective or that mind shift. And that could also be why the Tower is there as well, like breaking down long held on patterns of self-limiting beliefs and choosing not to believe those anymore. So I do see that there for some. I'm also seeing that, you guys want your independence from something. There's a strong, independent, individualistic energy to you, Scorpio. And I think that you could be tempted to, so again, like I'm feeling like, you may be tempted to follow the crowd, even though it doesn't actually resonate with you, whatever the crowd is doing. So it's being able to stand your ground and not be swayed by guilt trips or shaming or just this, hey, look over here, we're offering this to you. Because there could be this, it plays to our shadows. It plays to, the things that tend to draw us in because there could be people in our life that know what we like, and so they kind of dangle that carrot in front of us. So I think that that's why it's so important this month to stay true to yourself and not be swayed too much by trusting yourself and not being swayed too much by how other people are perceiving you or what they think of you. And it's more important to focus on prioritizing yourself and what you know about yourself and what you want. So staying loyal to your goals, staying loyal to your ambitions and your dreams and your vision for what you want life to look like. And I just realized that I never turned the deck upside down here. Okay, so at the bottom of the Rider-Waite, you have Page of Swords. And at the bottom of the Good Tarot, you have Queen of Air, which is Queen of Swords. So there's going to be a lot of staying true to yourself. And being very observant. Having a keen sense of observation. And I did sense that with this card as well, when you got the Seven of Air with the Four of Pentacles, I feel like there's this having this coming at things from a neutral space, because there could be some things where other people are trying to involve you in, but it really has nothing to do with you. But they're trying to include you in their drama. They're trying to include you in their antics. So it's going to be really important for you to follow your intuition and be very, very honest with yourself this month. Because there could be a lot of things that people want from you, and you're going to be called to ask yourself, but do I want to do that? Or do I want that for myself? Do I really? Or am I just doing that to not create chaos or not rock the boat? Yeah. Okay, let me get into your oracle cards here. What is Scorpio's guidance card for the month of July 2021? Scorpio's guidance card. I'm seeing a lot of like energy healing work. So there may be just a call for kind of just rebalancing your energy. You might want, like, I can see you doing things that are like, that just clear that auric space, which I think will help because you are in this, there's like this energy of a clean slate this month. Yeah, heighten your vitality. Exactly. So that's exactly what I just said was, clearing your energetic space and increasing your vibration, your frequency. Because I just feel like you're kind of coming from a place, I feel like with these two cards here, in your past events, I feel like you're just leaving some heaviness. I feel like it's behind you. I don't think you're carrying it anymore, but there could be this residual exhaustion from having come from a phase in your life that's over now, but there's this recuperation period. And I feel like this month of July, it's going to be really important for you to take care of yourself, because I can feel that you might just be a bit tired, exhausted, just depleted. And I think that when we're in that space, when we're kind of tired, sometimes it makes it more difficult to stand our ground when we're around toxic people or when we're around people who are including their opinions and wanting us to do things for them. And it's like sometimes we don't have that energy to kind of stand our ground and push back, and because we're more in a space of rejuvenation, not in a place of replenishment. So I think this month is going to be a time for you to replenish, for you to recuperate from this journey that you just came from. I think that's the perfect way to sum up what the energy is going to be like for you, Scorpio, in the month of July. I feel like you just came from war, or like just this journey, this huge journey. And you're pretty much on this new path now, but you're tired. So it's kind of like there's this layaway, like you need to recuperate before you can start the next journey. Again, I'm sorry for the screaming, if you can hear that. Okay. What is Scorpio's challenge cards this month for July 2021? Wisdom. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I was hearing that, again, when you find yourself in certain situations, to remember what you learned. Remember all the things that you've learned. And you might be called to apply those things. And I'll give you a clue. I strongly feel like the thing that you're going to have to execute the most is remain neutral and don't get involved. Whatever drama or things people are trying to provoke from you, don't get involved. Because actually, I'm seeing like it really has nothing to do with you. There's like this resistance of people not wanting you to grow. So there's that Like they may not consciously realize that that's what they're doing, but it's like they can sense this energy. So unconsciously they try to like get you in these situations where it's like setting you up for a reaction. It's setting you up to lose that grounding or that stability that you work so hard to build for yourself. So you're going to be challenged to apply all that you have learned up until now. And I'm strongly feeling that it's going to be something along the lines of not getting involved and not reacting, because I'm sensing that not reacting this month will make you look like you are just in complete control of yourself. It will make you look good in people's eyes. Like it will make you look like, whoa, like what happened to Scorpio? She's so calm. What's gotten into her? Usually these things like trigger her and she goes off, and they just see you being super chill and super calm. And it's like, you know, it's like nothing is fazing you. Even if it's irritating you on the inside, it's like you're not showing that vulnerability to people who are trying to get a reaction out of you. So maybe that's something to just look out for this month. And I think heightening your vitality, like on a regular basis, like having that routine, that morning routine, your meditations or your yoga or going for a walk or your bike ride or your exercise or eating healthy foods, keeping yourself for the most part, especially when you're not around these people, to keep your energetic sphere, your aura as strong as you possibly can, and making sure that you're treating yourself with love and kindness. That will protect you, because that strong auric shield that you have around you. And I'm hearing from Spirit, if you can see all these rainbow colors, like if you can imagine yourself surrounded by all of these colors, like you're protected by this high vibration or high frequency, it will help mitigate the blow of whatever. It's not even a blow. It's just like, and I'm also seeing that you'll see right through it. You'll see it. It's not like something that's too difficult. You'll know. I don't see you being caught off guard. You'll just be like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. I see what you're doing, and it's not going to work on me. Okay, what can Scorpio look forward to in the month of July 2021? What can Scorpio look forward to in the month of July? What are Scorpio's hope cards? Oh, I love this. Openness and fulfillment. This is what you can look forward to in the month of July. I did see that there was this expansion of your heart space, and I feel like for a lot of you, you've been wanting that. I've got another one here for you too. Yeah, transformation. You're opening yourself up to possibilities in the life that you wanted. And I'm seeing you feeling very fulfilled. And it's a slow fulfillment, actually. I'm not seeing that like all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're fulfilled. It's not that. It's a slow fulfillment. One that you have created for yourself. It's like in your control, in your hands. Through your tending, through your, like I'm looking at this peach and it's like, you have to plant the seed, and then you have to let sun and nature take its course and give it food and water. And then you eventually have this peach. It's like, it's because of your hard work. It's because you did the work, and Spirit helped with giving it the sun and, you know, all the other things. So that's co-creating. So you're co-creating with Spirit, with life, with the universe to create what you want. And I think in July, you're going to start seeing signs of how all your work is starting to come into play in your day-to-day life by how you interact with other people, by how you treat yourself, by how you prioritize yourself, how you say no to things you really don't want to do, how you stay in integrity with yourself. So you're gonna see that all of that kind of coming into practice for you. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I just dropped some cards. So let me just grab that card for you, Scorpio. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so we have 3 animal totems. Okay, we have swan spirit, time for a deep dive. Stag spirit, take the lead. I love that one. That's a beautiful card. And then dove spirit, be at peace. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I was really drawn to the doves in this as well, in the 5 of air. And I remember that with this card, what I said was when you trust yourself and you're not needing other people to validate your experiences this month, it will give you a sense of peace because you will be so connected with your truth. You'll be so connected with what you think about something that you don't really need anyone to tell you if you're right or wrong. And that will give you stability. It will give you strength because you're not looking to anybody else for confirmation. Not that it's wrong to look for confirmation. It's not. A lot of times we do need people to help us see things clearly or second opinion. So don't get me wrong. It's not that you can't, you can't ask people for things. But what I'm saying is that in certain specific situations, like especially if you feel like you're being manipulated by people, it's going to be really important that you trust your perception of that. That's what I mean. And by being able to trust your perception of that, and like, let's say, for example, you're in a situation and you are talking to a family member and you can kind of get this sense that they're trying to confuse you, or they're trying to second guess your perception of reality of they're trying to gaslight you, right? So there could be this moment where you stand your ground and you're like, no, I know what I saw. I know what I know. And I'm not going to let you convince me that it's something else. So I see you being that. And by being that, that will give you that peace. And I feel like that's coming up again here. You will exude this wisdom and this peace and this complete control. I'm surprised that you don't have the King of Water here in your reading, because there's a strong King of Water energy to this reading. And now that I'm being drawn to the Queen of Air is the Queen of Swords in the traditional tarot. And Queen of Swords is usually the person who has known difficulty and has gone through adversity in her life. And it's like she's been around, like she knows how this world works, how people can be. So she does not have this rose-colored glasses on about life. And that owl on her shoulder, that's wisdom. Seeing people for what they really are, seeing through the BS. And again, we have that wisdom. And applying that wisdom, seeing things for what they really are. I feel like you're going to have crystal clear vision this month. And then taking the lead is, being able to make those solid decisions and not being swayed either way. Because there may be people that want you to do things, or making an executive choice between 2 things. Maybe you're debating between 2 different career choices or paths, or between 2 people or friendships or whatever it is. It's kind of like you're making executive choices, executive decisions. You're taking charge. And then with the Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive, again, reconnecting with yourself. Connection with yourself is going to be very, very important this month. Or you're going to make it very important. I feel like that's what you're looking for. You want to connect even deeper with yourself. Because I think Scorpio, that the better connection you have with yourself, the better it is, the easier it is for you to navigate life. Okay, let's pick one more card here. This is your card from the relationship deck, and this could be relationship with other people, could be relationship with yourself, just depends on where we are at. I really feel like you're going to be a little bit more transparent about your authenticity this month. I feel like you're going to feel a bit more courageous and bold in kind of saying, hey, look, this is me. Here I am. And I don't really care what any of you think. I'm also seeing that you may be a lot more connected with your, what's the word for it? Your essence. Like there's this sensuality about you this month. There's this connection with your senses. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like this sensuality vibe to it. Like you feel beautiful inside and out, owning yourself. How empowering. Oh my God. I think I said freedom. I swear I said freedom. That freedom is going to be so important for you this month. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for your freedom. I know I said that in the beginning of this reading. So I love that we're closing this reading with that freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. I love that because you have the Magician, the Ace of Swords. You have that clean slate. And with this clean slate, you're taking it and you're going to be like, okay, this is my freedom. This is my ticket out. I love this. I love how everything just tied together so perfectly. I feel like with this last card, it's like packaged in a nice, neat packaging with a bow on top. It's beautiful. I love that. Okay, Scorpio, I hope this was helpful. And I'm excited to see what you all have in store. So if you're doing exciting things, comment below. I'd love to hear what you're up to. And good luck this month. You're going to do great. Bye, Scorpio. See you in August.